The visuals that we are showing to you on your TV screens, aerial shots of the Parliament building that was set on fire by the Gen Z protesters. Minutes before the Prime Minister of Nepal, KP Sharma Oli, had resigned from his office, Gen Z protesters, remember, broke into the Parliament and they set fire to one of the buildings on the premises. Those are aerial visuals coming in. Demonstrators set fire to Oli's residence also, we understand, but visuals coming in of the Nepal Parliament that was breached and the building was set on fire by Gen Z protesters. Protesters have also torched the homes of several top Nepal leaders. That includes now former Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli's Bhaktapur residence also, and a former finance minister also who was thrashed on the streets of Nepal, we've seen. But these visuals show plumes of grey and black smoke coming out from the Parliament building here in Kathmandu. All right, my colleague Shiv continues to be with us. Shiv, we have visuals coming in now of the Parliament building, but of course, the question, the point that we've been talking about earlier, the question is who's going to actually bring this violence, an end to this violence in Nepal?
It's probably going to be the military that does it because in everything but fact, martial law has practically been imposed in Nepal. Now, these very, very compelling images, you can bet, are going to be on the front pages of every Nepal newspaper tomorrow if they are allowed to print their newspapers, that is. Even that is in doubt amidst the current stability. But the Singha Darbar, the parliament, the government offices, they are all aflame. The private residences of ministers, the Prime Minister, have been vandalized and looted. Many of them are in a blaze right now. So this is, let's make no mistake at all, this is an inflection point in the history of Nepal. From this point on, can order be restored? Can the mobs be sent back? Can the legitimate demands, of the youth of Nepal, simply be sidetracked in the face of what has taken place? Let's remember for a moment that 19 youth have been killed in a crackdown that was clearly mishandled by the KP Sharma Oli government. He has been humiliatingly forced to resign. But what is left now are the broken pieces of Nepal's fragile economy, its fragile polity, its ministers being chased down the streets and beaten up, ex-prime ministers being thrashed, their homes vandalized. 19 students have been killed. Their bodies are still in the hospital. There are grieving families. The anger is self-perpetuating. It doesn't seem like this is going to end anytime soon. And that's the reason why even in a VIP protected zone like the Singha Darbar and the Parliament House of Nepal, which is out of bounds for citizens, they've been completely overrun, and that's the reason why these pictures are so incredibly compelling. They show you that law and order has completely broken down in Kathmandu. There are hardly any restrictions, even though we are hearing reports that the army controls at least half of Kathmandu right now. The pictures tell a very different story. It's a bit of a free-for-all right now. More and more people are entering. Remember, the social media ban was lifted, which means people are able to freely communicate with each other. Flights are not landing in Nepal. India has suspended practically all of its flights headed into Nepal at this time, including Air India and Indigo. So in many ways, Nepal is in some ways internationally isolated right now. We're looking at these pictures, but there's nobody entering from the outside. The international border with India is sealed. It's on high alert as well. India's monitoring the situation. It's issued advisories for the 1 lakh Indian nationals living in Nepal not to venture out of their houses as well. So this is a swirling, boiling cauldron in Kathmandu and other cities of Nepal,
yes.
Where stability can simply spiral even worse out of control. I understand the irony of me saying things going even worse out of control when you've got the Parliament House and the Singha Darbar, the seat of power in Kathmandu, completely in flames, completely infiltrated by this huge mob of angry young protesters in Nepal. The question now is, what next? Is it going to be martial law? Does that mean a repressive, hard-handed, Nepal army crackdown to actually end the protest? It will not be ended without a certain degree of violence. That's what history has taught us in in the past. So does that mean more bodies? Is that body count going to go up? And is that in its own way going to trigger another cycle of violence? We'll have to wait and see.